Hi, this is Butch Lieber with another Cromford training video. Today, how do you share the Cromford reports and how do you watermark them to protect your brand? So let's say you want to do a marketing piece. And we know that today, I'm recording this May 18th, 2020, we've had a huge shortage of listings. So I want to show the drop in new listings. So I'm going to go to the new listings chart and I want the long-term chart. I'm going to click on May because we are in May. So today we're at 42,135. So it's about a 10% difference in drop of listings. So this might be a chart I want to share with my sphere to let them know, hey, we've got a shortage. If you're thinking about selling, it's a good time to be a seller. So I want to share this particular chart. I might want to modify it per city or zip code, but for right now, we're just going to share this chart. So at the bottom of every screen, you'll see two icons that are important. This one, if you hover over it, it says share. You're not going to use that icon. You're never going to use that icon. Chart. What that does is it creates an embed code link or a link to the chart, but it's a live chart. So then you give access to this chart for people who are not paying for the subscription to Cromford. And we don't want to do that. We want to protect those. As a Cromford subscriber, you're in a minority of agents. So you want to protect your brand. You want to protect the licensing for Cromford. So we're not going to use that share button. We are going to use this download button. If you click download, for this particular chart, we have a choice of image, PDF, or PowerPoint. Image will save it as a JPEG or a PNG file. PDF will obviously save it as a PDF. What PowerPoint does is if there are multiple files in the multiple charts in that grouping, it'll save all of them into a PowerPoint file. But for right now, I just want this chart as an image. So I'm going to save it as an image and it downloads it to my download directory. So now I've got my image. I click on it to brand. Now I could post this right on Facebook, but the problem is then anybody can take this image and they can put their text around it and do what they want. And I've lost my advantage of being a Cromford subscriber. So we're going to watermark this image. We're going to open up PowerPoint and I'm going to create a new file. I'm just going to create a blank presentation. And sometimes you'll get a window like this. These don't show up in your slideshows or what we're going to save. So you can ignore them. If they bother you, you can just click on the lines and then delete those files. And then PowerPoint loves to give you a design idea, but we're not going to deal with that. I'm just going to get a blank screen. So then I'm going to import, I'm going to insert my picture that I just downloaded. And I'm going to pop it onto my screen. You can use the insert picture option, or if you have your Windows directory, your directory open, you can just drag from your directory onto this. So now I've got the image that I've got. So again, they give me suggestions, but I want to watermark this. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to bring in my company logo. Now you could do anything. You could use a logo. You could use your name and address and phone number. For right now, I'm just going to put my company logo in part of this. So I'm going to import my company logo. I'm going to put my company logo up in this corner of the chart. A watermark is basically a transparency that shows up over your image. So up here in the main bar, in the picture format menu in PowerPoint, there's a button that says transparency. And so I'm going to choose a very light transparency so it doesn't interfere with the chart. And I may actually move it over the middle of the data. So nobody's going to be able to use this data without including my company information on it. I might want to put my personal information on it, right? So I'm going to insert a text box and then put my personal information. A side note, if you are, whenever you use the word realtor, you've got to use that registered trademark. If you hold down the Alt key, 0174, it puts a registered trademark logo in there. So you stay in compliance with the National Association of Realtors. Put my phone number in here and put my website. I'm going to highlight it all and center it. I hit Control A to highlight it, and then I use this menu up here to center it. Okay, so now I've got my text. I can put it in my box here, But what's interesting is I can also make this transparent. So if I right click on it and choose Format Shape, it opens up my Format Shape tab. Go to the text options, and this first option here, undo text fill, I've got a transparency option, and I can slide that slider over to have it as light or as dark as I want. And so now I've got my transparency. So now this is what I want to post on Facebook that has my information watermarked on it. You can get really creative with your watermarks. If you've ever gone to download an image from Google Images, we don't want to steal anybody's registered trademark material. Be very careful downloading images. But a lot of companies that have those images trademarked, Dreams Time, which sells licensed images, has their watermark over the image. So if you use it, you're going to copy their company logo and their watermark with it, unless you pay for and download a clean image. One last thing before we share this post, I want to add some graphics to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to insert an arrow onto my chart. I'm going to go to Insert and Shapes. I'm going to choose an arrow here. I'm going to draw a line between our two. We can format that arrow, make it look bigger, smaller, using the PowerPoint tools. I'm also going to insert some text around my chart to say that we had a 10% drop in listings. Actually, 10% drop in new listings between 2019 and 2020. So I've insert my text, explain what we're looking at, put this down here. Then I'm going to unclick all the objects and Control A, which selects all of the objects on the page. At this point, I'm going to right click over any of the objects. Oops. Control A. Now look at the cursor. Anywhere we've got that crosshatch, we can right click. We don't want to right click over text because it'll go to edit the text. You want to have it over an image element, right click, and then you'll see an option called Save as Picture. I'm going to click Save as Picture. It brings up a folder. It brings up my directory save. I'm going to save this in my Cromford folder. I'm going to call it Social 520. I'm going to save it. And now if I open up that image, here's what it looks like. That's my JPEG, and I can save that to social media. It's got my watermark, and it's got my information that goes along with whatever text I'll put with my social media post. I'm going to delete all of these and start again. My company happens to have a logo that is just our little bird, our company hummingbird logo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hummingbird and drop it on here. And I'm going to make it transparent. I'm going to make it pretty light. And I'm going to copy it a few times. And I'm going to spread them out on the screen. One in the middle, one on the right. And then I want to intersperse my name on here. And maybe I want that over here. Turn to the side a little bit. Let's add that realtor. And we'll center that. And then I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to paste that also down here. But this time, instead of my phone number, I'm going to make it my website. And again, remember, I can right click on this, choose Format Shape, Text Options, Text Fill, Transparency, and make that fairly transparent. And I like that, 80, make it 80%. You can type in here, you can use this slider. I want to do the same thing with this one. Now, I'm going to, again, Control A to highlight all my images on this screen. Right click and choose Save as Picture. I'm going to save this one to my Cromford directory that I save all my Cromford stuff in. Okay. So now, next time I do a chart, now watch this. Now I'm going to insert that image I just saved. And that's my default watermark. I can take that watermark, drop it on my image, and voila, it's done. Again, Control A to save all the images, right click, save as picture, tell it where I want to save it, and voila, I've got my watermarked image that I can now load on social media. So hope that helps today on sharing your charts. Again, my name is Butch Lieber. The information for the Cromford Report is on the screen. Michael Orr is the owner of the Cromford Report. Tim Tambor is the senior analyst for the Cromford Report. And I am an independent contractor. In addition to being a real estate agent and a certified Cromford coach, I am also a business coach. And I help agents grow their business and help them with mindset to stay focused and achieve whatever goals they set out for themselves. So if you have questions I can help you with, please give me a call. I'd love to help. Thanks for Cromford Report. This is Butch Lieber, and join us again next time.